I'm not, as a support worker, for the work that we do, everybody I know in the support absolutely love the job and do it because we love the job, but we all feel that we're not getting the pay that we deserve. So that is probably why there's people coming and going out of the service. It's not because we don't like the job, it's because of the pay, really. So, sorry.
I mean, recruitment and retention is a long-standing problem, particularly within this type of service, because what you're saying is quite correct. You know, the pay scales, particularly with the independent sector, are quite poor at times. And you can appreciate why people will move on if they get an opportunity for another job.
And because, like, when I have these support workers going in and out and stuff, I always have, like, a load of paperwork built here because my housing benefit and my ESA and stuff are always suspended at the minute, and I'm trying to sort it all out, but it's getting really frazzling.
Yeah, and that's what you need support in actually getting done, you know. So, again, you do need to flag that up because it doesn't sound as if things are working very well there.
No, thank you.
Stopped?
Just stopped, so you don't have to stay here.
That's phenomenal!
Yeah?
Hang on a minute. This has got to be...
I don't know, would you like to ask a question? Yes.
This is David Baker's.
Yes. No.
Yeah, that is yours, David Baker. You said, who is going to make sure that money is spent wisely?
Why did you know? Got in my head.
You don't have to shout. You don't have to shout. Nice and gently, nice and gently.
Why did you get some money for it? Put on the money for the people first. But the people first for Paris. But because I want to know if we're going to want some money for the people first. Back to the people first.
I'm assuming what you're saying is why you're saying, is there any funding for Ceredigion people first? Yeah, okay. Well, the problem we've got, and we've mentioned this several times already this afternoon, is that the amount of money we've got is very limited, and we have to be very careful about how we spend it. And there are quite a lot of controls about how that money is spent as well. Now, we are currently... in the department, we are currently looking at reviewing all of the funding that we give out to people in the voluntary sector and in the third sector. So what we're doing is looking at saying, well, where is the money actually going? Now, if Ceredigion People First are able to offer a service that we're currently not getting, then it's possible that that could be considered as part of that funding. But at the moment, all of the funding that we get as a department is not only committed, it's actually being cut. As we've already discussed, we're getting cuts all over the place. So the amount of money we've got is getting less, and there are more and more people out there asking for it. So what we have to be clear about in Ceredigion is what do we want from our services? And then we will be asking the services, what can you provide? And it's what we call a tendering process of saying, well, we want X, Y, and Z. And then we ask all the people out there in the community, what can you provide? And it's up to you then to say, well, we can provide X. And then we will say, well, we'll give you X amount of money to do it. So, you know, there are processes that we have to go through, unfortunately, and that's the way it works.
It has to be very quick. You don't need that. You don't need that, Carly.
Yes.
Say it.
Yes, I want to say.
Go on then, say it.
Tia Gored sat down now. I used to work there.
Oh, in Tia Gored, is it?
Yeah, Tia Gored.
Yeah, Tia Gored was the animal sanctuary over in Cribin. Yeah, it's closed down now, yes.
I'm mental illness. Many years ago now.
But a lot of these places, unfortunately, again, it's a sign of the economic climate, I'm afraid, and places are closing down. So those opportunities go. But when some opportunities close, other opportunities open. So
I used to work with Leslie. Yeah. And got secret house. Many years now. Yeah. Yeah.
It's back to the service buses once more. When any member of the public enters the public bus, where are the seat belts on the service buses?
So the question's about seatbelt.
Yeah, the question of seatbelts on public transport is again down to UK legislation because in the design and build regulations on vehicles, they're not necessary as part of public service buses. Coach services, which are limited stop services, are different. But until the UK decides to change legislation, ordinary buses, unless an operator decides to put him up for his, but no operator has to put seatbelts on a public service vehicle. So until UK legislation is changed and they must put it, it'll stay without seatbelts.
Isn't it against the law not wearing them on the service buses?
Not at the moment, only on coaches.
When is this going to take place?
It's something that they haven't decided upon, and it's like all laws that are formulated in this country. It can take years and years because there's always a contra-view to the view that somebody has, and they have to debate it ad nauseum on these issues.
What happens if someone stops suddenly and public people on that bus will go flying? What safety rules apply to the public?
Taking up your point about buses stopping suddenly, it's one of the issues that we ensure that all the operators instruct their drivers to be courteous and drive their vehicles in well driven, and it is part of the training now the drivers have to have, that they must consider the passenger. Unfortunately, like all individuals, they possibly have their off days, and some drivers forget what their job is, and they forget about the passenger. But we certainly are putting this message to the operators that they must think of the passenger first and maybe not the directors of the company.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I think. No, great. Well, thanks. I think that we'll have to thank Sean, Gareth, June, and Donna for answering all those questions so well. I think particular praise has to go to Gareth for using Latin without being laughed at, because whenever I've used Latin in a case like this, I usually get derided by the press. So thanks everybody for answering questions, and well done everybody for asking such good questions, and I hope that we take something away from this. So thank you very much. I don't know whether Nick wants to...
Yeah, this is for transport. Will Aberystwyth ever have an indoor bus station?
Another good question, and without knocking down a lot of the old buildings, probably not. The problem we have, even with the new bus station that's been provided, is the very limited space, and you have to fit the new bus station into a very limited space and have it operate on a trunk road. So it's very, very limited. So the existing location does have the advantages that it will now interlink with a train station, taxis, and very close to the town centre, much better, and there'll be more provision for pedestrians. The aim of the project is to provide a much better pedestrian environment, and not only in levels and surfaces, but also in a visual aspect, so that people can enjoy that part of Aberystwyth. So when it's finished, and do bear with us, there are some issues with the land ownership there. When it's finished, it'll be a lot easier for everybody to travel.
It's just that your own taxi drivers have actually asked for an indoor bus station to connect to the taxi rank, so they've got somewhere to stop over, and they've actually said this. It's been needed for about 10 years, so why not?
I would take what a lot of taxi drivers say with a pinch of salt, but...
I'll tell them. Right, okay. Right, that's right. That's all we've got time for, mercifully. And we've got a 10-minute break now where everybody can go and have a nice cup of tea. So once again, thanks very much to our speakers today for their grinning. Give them a round of applause.